All right. Hey, welcome back, guys. First time here, appreciate you coming in. If it's not, welcome back. I am Jay Cartelli, and this is your daily peanut butter and jelly. Your comfort food for the soul, right? We're going to let you know what's going on in the world. And today we're looking at the increase in food and grocery prices. And like every time you go to the grocery store, why does it seem like everything just keeps going up and up and up? Is it inflation? Is it tariffs? Is it shrinkflation? Is it all the above? Economy? Who knows? All right, let's get into it and see what the big old bad internet world has to say. Let's see what they got to say, right? All right, guys, let's see what they got to say. Oh, man. Oh, what's this guy here? Let me just play this here for a minute. I don't think I can play this one. $102. Yeah, I don't think I can play because it's got music in the background. $102, and that's all you get. Man, that's insane. That's crazy. All right. Let's see what the next one brings, guys. That's nuts. All right.
Bread? Why was the cheapest loaf of bread three? As someone who starts every single morning with toast, this is not sustainable. Because I can't go any cheaper than toast in the morning. What's cheaper than toast in the morning? There isn't anything. It was a trick question. Trash bag?
I mean, to be fair, crackers. Crackers, that could be cheaper than toast. But, you could fast. I mean, fasting is. But yeah, she's got a point, right? I mean, what can be cheaper? Like when you start off in the morning with breakfast, right? Like, if you want to, I'm a different person, right? I don't really eat breakfast anyways. A lot of people don't. But if you do, bread is pretty cheap. A little butter, little bread, little toast, little egg, Breakfast is traditionally on the cheaper side than a full course meal. So, she's got a point.
I'm about to start throwing my trash into the lawn and burning it any time there isn't a burn notice. I'm from the olden days, a bygone era, where you could roll a cart down the grocery store, and if you filled it to the absolute brim, you would be lucky to break 100. This basket wasn't even all the way full. I wasn't even tilting, carrying it. No, very confidently. Weak me, just walking perfectly straight with my half-filled basket, thinking this can't break 50. There's no way. This isn't even a week worth of food. I start ringing it up. We hit 50 a quarter of the way through. $80. And for the rest of the week, I'm eating rice, beans, toast. I did get eggs, but in my defense, 30 for $10 in the year of 2025, that's a pretty damn good deal. $10 a paycheck, I can live with that. What I can't live with is $3 for a loaf of bread. Are you fucking kidding me?
How much are those Doritos?
Hey, look. Y'all know why y'all ain't buying nothing off TikTok shop? Look, it's like grocery store video day. This bag, and look, hold on. This bag only has, see, that's the air right here. Stay with me, people. From here down, $6.49.
Wait, $6.29.
Okay, well,
20 cents.
whatever. I mean, $6 for this.
It's groceries are absolutely ridiculous.
Look, I'm gonna start prostituting.
I mean, I feel him, right? Yeah, I mean, they really do. Like, I get the whole, sold by weight, not by volume thing, right? When they always tell you, when you buy a bag of chips, and I'm the worst. Like, look, guys, I'm pretty much a health nut. I'm pretty healthy. I have a very strict diet, right? There's a lot of things I don't eat, and I mean a lot. But my biggest weakness is chips, right? Like I'm a chipaholic. I'll eat chips. Like I don't care. I eat them. I mean, that's my downfall. That's my weakest link when it comes to food. Everything else I'm super strict about, and I mean my discipline is off the chain when it comes to the way I eat. It really truly is. And I'm not perfect though, so just letting you know, when it comes to chips, that's my weakness. Like, oh my god, I have such an affinity for certain types of chips. And I try to be healthy with the chips, right? Like I get the ones that are, non-GMO, and I get the ones that are done in avocado oil, right? Or I don't like to get the seed oils, and I try to stay to the healthy, the organic. I try to stay to the healthy side of the chips, and mostly. But I'm telling you, chips are my weakness. But but this guy here, as his, I mean, I get the sentiment. I really do. It's funny, because you get a bag that's, you're like, oh, look at this, and you buy with your eyes, right? Your eyes are like, oh my god, look at that. It's like, it's huge. It's a big bag. But then when you really get down to it, half of it or more is just air, right? Oh, to keep the freshness, right? You got to keep the freshness in, right? So we need to pump it full of fresh air. What kind of air? What are you pumping in there, right? Like, let's really get in the nitty gritty on this. What's in the bag? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, for real though, seriously. All kidding aside, yeah, I mean, you look at the bag, and it's like maybe just it's settled down to the bottom, and half of them are crushed. Don't even get me started on that. When you open up a bag and like it's all crushed because of shipping and everything, it's like, come on, man. You buy, a little quarter ounce, you get a bag this big, and a little bit, how many ounces in the bottom of crushed chips, and you're like, oh my god, come on, can't even get no dip on that or anything, because your most dip goes on your finger because your chip is so smashed and small, right? Anyways, though, it's kind of a game, right? It's shrinkflation. It's kind of, I get where he's coming from. But anyways, I digress. I just seen the chips, and I had to go. I have a chip problem.
I got to pay for this somehow. I mean,
but for the price.
I hate to break it to the moms out there, but it's coming. It's coming.
Hey, that back page is looking good.
Now, I tell you what, ain't it though? The OF page is the only Scott page. I mean, I gotta get a wire transfer from Wells Fargo just to buy a pack of chips. Expensive ass place.
That's some high prices. Not gonna lie.
Small little bag, 9 ounces.
I know we talk about grocery prices all the time, but I find this to be absurd. Please look at what $20 got me for these groceries. $20. This is absurd. These are 5 items. Butter, some peppers, some bread.
Hey fuckers, let's play a game, shall we? I had a friend in town last weekend, and her brother texted
Okay. Am I gonna win this game?
her while we were hanging out and said, guess how much I just spent for groceries at Walmart in North Carolina. Y'all will never guess. Here's the picture of the cart. We've got spinach, bagels, looks like a whole carrot cake, which is great. I love that choice. We've got Halo Top, Ben & Jerry's. That can be pretty expensive. Salsa, sweet potatoes, some prepackaged salad mixes, frozen veggies, case of Miller Lite. We've got organic grass-fed beef. There's tortillas. It looks like it's keto, so that could be higher price. And maybe a couple of other things. There's a layer here that we can't really see. What do y'all guess the price is for this cart? $496 in North Carolina at Walmart. What did you guys guess?
$480. Damn, that's a lot. I remember going to the grocery store, a cart just like that, filling that thing right up, and only being maybe $150, maybe $150. I used to go all the time, me and my wife, and we go out and we would get a whole load. I mean, top, even underneath the grocery, the grocery cart. We would just fill that thing totally filled. We would go out and we'd make a night of it. We'd go out in the afternoon and we'd go and we'd like, hey, maybe a Saturdays or a Friday or Saturday, hey, we gotta get groceries. Okay. So we go shop and we would go through the store and get all the different things, and we get a lot of organic stuff, a lot of good stuff, and nothing, we wouldn't buy a lot of junk or anything because I eat a certain way, so we have high quality and high standards, so we buy all organic and all this and all that and all the good stuff, and we're very careful. My rule when I buy food is that it cannot have any more than 5 ingredients in the entire ingredient list in the label. When you flip it over, read the back, it has to have 5 or less ingredients, and they have to be recognizable and understandable, like sugar, salt, flour, the simple ingredients, right? They can't have any monoglycates and glycides and all these, monodextrins and all these different weird combinations of chemicals and preservatives and all that stuff. That's a no-go. So it has my very strict diet. It has to be scratch made and not processed. It's got to be out of a box. It's got to be your basic, like your salts, your sugars, your flours, your beans, your rice. All your basic ingredients is what we buy, and we make scratch cook food. And it's simple things, whole things, natural things. Go to Whole Foods or go to a farmer's market and get fresh produce. Get organic, get the best that you can get. It's a little bit more expensive, but that's how I've been eating. That's how we've eaten for the last 30 some years, 35 years. This is the way it's been. I don't eat fast food and junk and garbage, and like I said earlier, my one caveat to that is I have a very bad addiction to chips, and I try to stay on the healthy side of it because I'm a muncher. I like to munch. I like to nibble and munch on things. So that's one of my I guess you could say bad tendencies, but it's not really that bad. But yeah, I do have a addiction to chips. I love chips, right? But I don't get the garbage chips. I don't go and get all the the cheap, nasty, all the flavors and all that. It still has to follow my basic rules. It's got to have less than 5 ingredients, and it's got to have good quality ingredients that you can read and understand, right? Like salt, sugar, or flour, or whatever. So I do have standards, even though I do like to eat munch on chips, right? But anyways, we used to go fill out the whole cart, and we fill the whole cart out for $150, $160, 170, 180, and the thing would be packed full, and it would last us a good couple weeks. I mean, man, but nowadays you can't do that. Nowadays you go to the store, and me and my wife don't even really go grocery shopping that much anymore. We'll go get some of the basics, like I talked about, but other than that, we just kind of what do you want to eat tonight? We'll go to the store and we'll pick up 1 or 2 little items. We don't bulk shop anymore like we used to. Go out and buy for the whole week and have food for the whole week, or for 2 weeks. We don't do that anymore. We just we got food that we have in storage, for in case of bad emergencies or whatever. We got certain things that we stashed away and stuff that last a long time. Just your your basic necessities, like you would find back in the day, or like back in the Depression era type thing. You'd have different things like that. But other than that, now we just shop for the day, right? Like you get done with work, you get done with whatever, running errands. Hey, I'm gonna go get. Hey, what do you want? This, that, what? Okay, we'll go buy a couple things, and then you'll make dinner, make food, whatever, and call it a day. That's kind of what we do now. We don't really go out and spend, because it's even just doing that small little bit of shopping for a day or two, just for a couple of days. It's $70, $80, $100 just for a couple bags of food. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. All right, let's finish up the rest of this here, guys. Let's see what we got going on. Let's look at this next one here. $48, almost $49. Wow. What the heck is that? 2 pound, 23, 24 bucks a pound. That's a couple pound there. Ribeye steak. Listen, like I said before, I don't even know anything about red meat. I have not eaten red meat in over 30, almost 34 years now. 30, yeah, about 34 years. Yeah, well over 30 years, 30, 33, 34 years. I have not eaten or touched red meat at all, not even a little bit. Like I said, I have a very strict diet. I'm very particular about what I eat. So I have not purchased red meat. I don't know anything about the prices of red meat because I don't really buy a lot of meat anyways. Um, I do eat some meat. I eat a little bit of chicken and fish or a little turkey sometimes for protein, but I don't really eat a lot of it. I'm not vegetarian or vegan, but I'm pretty close. I mean, I'm pretty close, but I'm not quite there because I still do like I said, I do like some meat, but I don't eat any pork, no bacon, none of that stuff. No red meat, any of that kind of stuff whatsoever. You know, veal. I don't eat any of that stuff. None of it. Um, the only thing like I said, the only thing I eat is a little bit of chicken and turkey. Uh, just a little bit of that, and maybe occasionally a little bit of fish, like some walleye or something, but not too much. Um, so I really don't know what the prices are. So when I go grocery shopping, I avoid all that. Meat's expensive. It's really expensive. I avoid a lot of that. I really do. Um, we just don't eat it. Um, but man, that's a lot. That's like 50 bucks for a couple pounds of red meat. That's insane. That's incredible. I was like, holy crap, dude, that's insane. That's just so expensive. I am so glad I don't eat red meat. Anyways, that's crazy though. I mean, I feel bad for you guys paying that kind of money. That's expensive, but I'm glad I don't have to do it. All right, let's see what we got else. What's else? What else have we got here, guys?
Well, people are complaining that the prices in grocery stores have gone up, and our president is saying that prices went down. I'm a nerd. Okay, call me a nerd. I have receipts from June 2024 right through today. So we're gonna go grocery shopping, and we're gonna do some price comparison, and I'm gonna show you how more expensive your groceries really are. I live in Howell, New Jersey, which is a suburban neighborhood. Not anything fancy. I'm in ShopRite. I'm not at Trader Joe's. I'm not at Whole Foods.
Ooh, shout out
I'm
to
at
Trader Joe's.
ShopRite. We buy the same thing every single week. Okay? Let's go shopping.
Let's go shopping.
Coffee is one of the biggest I've seen increases. Okay, now here on my receipt, we buy 8.
Yeah, you ever go to Starbucks? Talking about coffee. I love my coffee. I love Starbucks. And to get a venti or whatever, it's like, 8, 9, 10 bucks, right? Like, it's expensive if you go to get, Starbucks or whatever, right? But I gotta have it. I don't know. It's like I said, I'm not perfect. It's one of my pet peeves, right? I mean, I have little flaws here and there. I'm human like everybody else. But I try to maintain a strict diet. But sometimes, when it comes to certain things, like I said, like I like the chips, I like the snack, but I try to stay on the healthy side. But then again, for the Starbucks, or coffee in general, I love coffee. I can't help it. I love coffee. And that's now, I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't really have any vices, except for I like coffee, right? So, but when I get coffee, now let me preface that. When I get coffee, it's decaffeinated, right? I don't get caffeine because I'm already hyper as it is. I've been hyper my whole life. I mean, I got ADHD. I'm hyper like mad, and I'm not a young kid anymore, right? But I have more energy than a 15 or a 20-year-old. I guarantee you. I mean, I could run around this house 500 times and nonstop. Just like, I have a ton of energy at my age, right? Because I'm pushing 60, so I'm a Gen Xer, and at my age, I still have a lot more energy than most of these kids. But I don't need any caffeine, so that's one strict thing in my diet. I stay away from caffeine. So when I get my coffee, it's always decaffeinated, right? I always try to get decaffeinated. But anyways, yeah, shout out to all you caffeine and Starbucks lovers and all you coffee drinkers.
8 o'clock coffee. I circled it because I used it one other time. Sorry for the blurriness. $9.99. You see that? $9.99. See it now? $17.99. In less than a year. Less than a year. $17.99. $9.99. So it is doubled in price. Coffee is insane, and this
Well, it's
is
also
not
imported
even
too,
a
so
fancy brands like
tariffs.
Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts.
Let's check out the prices in a foreign country and see if they're any better. I like to go check those out and see just if there's any difference between America versus a different country. So let's check that out. Let's check that out. Let's check this out.
How expensive groceries are in Germany. A bag of mandarins, $1.69. $2.39 for 12 eggs. Baby
Jeez.
bills for $2.79. Oat milk for 90 cents. Bio salami for $1.99. You can get real bread for $1.19. If you get a full loaf, you can cut it right here. One salmon fillet
Wow.
for $3.99. You can get 3 pizzas for $3.99. There are 3 pizzas inside. Red wine for $2.49. 6 pairs for $1.49. Cucumber for 69 cents. 2 pounds of meat for $6.99. Strawberries for
Now we just seen that. 2 pounds of meat. We just seen that. That's cheap. That's really cheap. I mean, it was like what was the other one? Like 20, I can't remember what it was now, but it was like $20 or something like that. That's cheap. That's cheap. I mean, for all you red meat lovers out there. I mean, dang.
for $2.89. Yeah, are you guys ready for the craziest thing? This much toilet paper for $2.69. And then 4 pieces of
$2.69.
kitchen towels for $2.75.
You know how y'all like your toilet
I
paper.
honestly have no idea why toilet paper is so expensive in the US. You can get cat food for 30 cents. Let's head over to the sweets. 1 bag of raisin for $1.79. Chips are $1.19. Olive oil for $5.99. The prices here are insane. They're so cheap. You get some Gouda for $1.95. This huge pot of Greek yogurt, $2.29. Baby food is either $1.05 or you can even get something for 75 cents.
75 cents for baby food. 75 cents.
85 pieces of diapers for $5.39. Hand soap here for 65 cents. Toothpaste for 65 cents. Okay, let me know in the comments. Do you think it's cheap or expensive to shop in Germany?
You think it was cheaper? I don't know. Let's check out Mexico.
Grocery prices in Mexico. I always hear people in the US complain about how expensive groceries are, so today I'm going to show you the prices here in Mexico. And just a quick disclaimer, guys, this is a big chain supermarket. If you go to a street market or a tianguis, you're going to see things at least 50% cheaper than you do in this video, so just keep that in mind. But anyways, let's do this. So this is for all my MAGA people. You can get 12 eggs, because I know you guys are obsessed with eggs. You can get 12 eggs for 43 pesos. But this is my favorite, guys. Check this out. You can get 30 eggs for 92 pesos. It looks like there's a deal with the cereal. Right now you can get 2 boxes for 100 pesos, 2 boxes for 85 pesos, and these are the big boxes, guys. These are not the little boxes. 2 for 85, 2 for 100, and you can get a liter of milk for 23 pesos. And if you want the equivalent to a gallon of milk, you can get it for 77 pesos. You can get a big bar of butter for 24 pesos. And I know that people in the US freak out whenever there's an emergency, but you can get 40 rolls of toilet paper for 170 pesos. And you can also get a whole turkey.
What is it about the toilet paper? What is that? Like, what is that, really? Like, what is that about the toilet paper? Like, it is truly a thing here in America where if we can't get our toilet paper, man, people freak the hell out if they don't have their, I mean, I'm serious. People gotta have they gotta have clean backsides, bro. Their backsides gotta be clean. But I don't know, because I've been out and about and I've smelled some, I mean, I don't get it. You know, some of y'all obsessed over it, and some of y'all need to be obsessed over it. Cause some of y'all stink. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100. Some of y'all need to take a couple baths before you leave the house. Another thing, when you do leave the house, do me a favor. Go light on the aftershave of a cologne, and especially for the women, the perfume. My God, just a little bit. You just need a little bit, guys. Don't like, ugh, like, ugh, right? Don't overdo it. Like you're covering something up. It's horrible. Anyways, that's my little PSA for the day.
For 89 pesos. But my favorite thing about the Mexican Walmarts is that they have a panaderia. You can get a concha for 10 pesos, guys. Check that out.
10
so there you
pesos.
have it, guys. These are some of the grocery prices here in Mexico. And like I said, if you go to a street market, it's bound to be at least 50% less expensive.
Even
but anyways,
less.
let me know what you guys think.
Well, I think it's pretty cheap living in foreign country when it comes to food. But there's a lot of factors. You know, put it in the comments below, guys, what you think it is. But there's a lot of factors to that as well. But let's check out another one, see what we got. All right, now coming back to the stay side. Now it's not all, you know, foreign countries. But if you want to go, you think it's expensive where you live in America. Well, it depends on your region, right? It all matters about location, and where you're at, not just in real estate, but in everything, right? So take this one, for example. This one here, I believe, is in Alaska. And some of the prices there are extremely expensive because you live in a remote area, right? So it depends on your proximity to a bigger city, a town, location, stuff like that. So it matters, right? Even in America. So let's see what this guy's got to say over here.
I'm back home in Alaska. I'm outside the local grocery store. There's no roads in or out of Kotzebue. Everything needs to be flown in, so the cost of living here is really high. So here's a tour of the prices at the store. Milk is $12.69 a gallon. 18 eggs are $10.79. A 5-pound bag of flour is on sale for $12.99. 6 rolls of paper towels are $21.99. A regular sized bag of Doritos is $11.29. A 12-pack of Coke is $15.19. A pound of ice cream is $10.69. A Tide Pod container is $27.49. And last but not least, gas is $8 a gallon.
Right now, you don't need a pantry. You need a time machine back to the Great
Amen
Depression.
to that, sister.
Listen, at this point, if you don't have what I call a Depression-era pantry, you are setting yourself up for failure. And I know some of y'all are like, what's that? I wasn't even alive back then. Don't worry, I got you.
She got
A
you.
Depression-era
got you.
pantry is about survival with style. It's budget-friendly, non-perishable items
With style.
that will ensure you never go hungry. Flour, cornmeal, rice, dried beans, oats, pasta, molasses, cocoa, peanut butter,
There you
canned
go.
fruits and vegetables, canned meat, lard, vinegar, salt, sugar, and spices. You know, this is
Sugar and spice and everything nice, guys. That's it. I grew up cornbread, soup beans, collard greens. I come from a southern family, and my parents are from the South, Kentucky, West Virginia. I got people through Tennessee, Georgia. I got kinfolk all over the place, so I know what she's talking about. You know, my parents grew up in the southeastern part, like my dad in the southeastern part of Kentucky, and he was from the poorest county in the Americas, in the United States of America. It was a poorest county, registered. It was absolutely the official government censored. It was, you know, or surveyed. It was the poorest county, and that's where my father came out of. Nothing but coal mines, and my grandpa died from black lung. From black lung, working in coal mines. I got a lot of kinfolk that worked in the coal mines and died from black lung, and we come from poverty, poor family. So I didn't come from money. I didn't come from riches. I'll tell you that right now. And my mom, she had one pair of shoes that lasted her a couple years, and every winter or every couple winters she would get another set, just like the coal miner daughter story. My mom came from a place called Hell Creek, West Virginia. Hell Creek, or down by Del Barton area. And I'll tell you what, man, she's tough. The women coming out of there, man, they are mean. They are just mean as mountain cats, man. They were just tough. So we come from hard times. So growing up, I used to get breakfast, and we used to have, you know, my mom would make homemade biscuits, gravy, soup, beans, cornbread. That was a thing for us. That was a thing. That's what we did. And I have very fond memories going down to my grandpa's place in Kentucky and setting up on the porch. We had a hand dug well. We'd crank up the well, you know, we'd lower the bucket down, in a hand dug well, and we get the water and crank it up, and then we take it inside and we'd heat it up on the cook stove. It's a wood fired cook stove, and it'd heat the house, and you cook your fiddles on it, and we'd go out on the porch and have a 10-15 gallon galvanized pan that we stand in, and we would lather up, wash up right there on the porch. We'd pour water overhead after we warmed it up, and that's how we took a bath. We had an outhouse that's over by the creek. Had a creek that come off the mountain there, and yeah, man, had old chickens, and we had a blue, which is an old mule, my grandpa's mule, a blue, and we had some farm animals, a few things down there right in the holler, and great times, man. I mean, as a kid growing up, I loved it, man. RC Cola and some moon pie, man, I love that stuff. So I know what she's talking about, because my family come from that. We come from that Depression era, and we come from that, that poverty, and being up in the hills, and the mountains, and the Appalachian Mountains and stuff. So I know exactly what she's talking about. But man, I tell you, that's a story for another time, though. I got lots of stories like that. But anyways, get back to what you're saying. But soup, bean, and cornbread, man. I love me some soup, bean, and cornbread. Love, love, love it.
This is all the stuff your grandmama could take and make 20 meals out of it and continue to feed the family over and over.
You better believe it.
See, most Americans, y'all got really addicted to living high on the hog, like little mini Rockefeller.
Now she's preaching.
Eating fresh salmon on a Wednesday night, sipping cold brew like water. Let's keep it all the way a buck. See, you were never rich. You just had enough credit cards and cheap prices so you could pretend. And now?
All right. Now she preaching. Now she preaching. Mama preaching to you now. Listen up, kids. Listen up. Mama preaching. You better listen up. She talking truth. She's spitting facts right now. And that's the truth, man. How many people out there have been living off that credit card debt, living high in the hog, living that rich, fake rich lifestyle, just out there, man. Like, what I'm saying? Like, really out there, just living on borrowed time, right? Like, how many people have a big, fancy, nice, beautiful car, big old rims, living high, doing all these things, but the house they live in don't look like it ain't worth $100. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they can't afford to even put food on the table, but they live in that lifestyle, man. Now she's preaching now. You gotta tell them like it is, mama. Tell them.
That runway is gone. So here's the irony for me. The same folks, right, that used to laugh at grandma's struggle meals are about to be Googling how to make biscuits from bacon grease and molasses. And honestly, it's not even shameful. For real, it's smart. Because the truth is, prices are not done climbing yet. We have not hit the peak. So either you build yourself a Depression-era pantry right now, or you're going to be out here paying $15 for a bag of rice like it's a luxury handbag. Because at the end of the day, y'all, survival is not about flexing. It's about preparing. And the most American thing you can do right now, learn how to make it work no matter what. That was just like they did back then.
We all have one life to live, and we have to make the best choices we can make, right? And I know it's tough out there for everybody, and it's difficult, and it's getting more difficult, with the way things are in the world. But all I can say is, do the best you can.